Another recommended venue here, Andy. We'll take a look inside. There's going to be a few boards in here. I think it's going to be interesting. And luckily for us, there's a cameraman in here as well.
Imagine that. The White Swan at Oldbury. Bit of a more typical boozer, this one, isn't it, really? You know, I haven't spotted any dartboards yet. That's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
I think this is the sort of place you're going to really enjoy on the basis of like what we've seen before and what you've sort of traditionally grown up in.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where we started playing darts, in places like this. So we go, oh, hang on, I've spotted something in the distance. They have got dartboards, it's all right. We're saved. Three boards, not being used. We've walked in, two have already got the lights on, ready to go. I mean, we can literally pick up our darts and we're ready to go. You know, I go back to my youth. You were lucky if there was one board in the corner, there was tables in the way. You know, I mean, ask Auntie Mavis if she wouldn't mind moving. She sat there doing a knitting.
I like how grouped in it is as well. I can imagine, like, when we get like flight clubs and things like that, when you get a group of mates together and you have a good time. I can imagine that'd be down here. I can imagine it'd be very bustling. You got a couple of games going on at the same time. You're out with your mates. So I think 8 is quite fair because they could probably get another one in here, but they've considered the player experience in the fact that they don't want it too cramped.
So you're 8 as well. We're going to agree today on everything.
No chance.
Let's get it and have a look. Ooh. Low. About a centimetre. Shame that. All right, Matt, if you wouldn't mind holding that in for me, we'll have a go at the diagonal. I'm hoping this is the back of the oche, and if it is, mate, that is a good 2 centimetres long.
Sometimes you don't know whether to mark to the front of the tape or the back. But that looked like
I always stand behind the back, don't you? If it's to the front, it's really short. So,
but that's the old debate, isn't it? When you had the tape, and that's why the raised oche came in.
Raised oches came in. That's as bad as we've come across for a while, mate. I'm afraid. And I'm happy today, and I'm trying to agree with you. Do you agree with 2 out of 10?
Oh, here we go again. This is good, Andy. This is good. Look at all the other trebles. They've not been used. Yes, they've been used when people are switching to an 18 or things like that. But in regards to being used as the main segment, the main focal point, it has still just been the one treble. That being said, it needs turning now, or else that is going to start bulging. It's going to start looking bad, and then you're going to end up with like a treble 2 that's out here where I got a perfect treble 20.
I'm going to say, I'm looking at that thinking, this is mint. This has only been used once. You're right. Needs a turn. Yeah, it's still okay, that. It's still all right.
Me, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking 10 trebles, 1's been used, the other 9 are perfect. For me, it's got to be a 9 out of 10.
It's nowhere near a 9. We've had the,
how many trebles can you use on this board?
How many times have we had this discussion? If it's brand new out of the packet, it's a 10. If you've thrown 3 darts in it, it's a 9. Anything else is 8 or below. So I was at 7 because that's mashed.
Unfortunately for you, though, this is my category.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going 9. I know you've been looking forward to this one, however...
Calm myself.
The barman's literally stood right there. You can probably hear what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to this, and I'm going to pretend that I've got a phone call to make outside, so I don't have to be around for this one, and I don't have to see or hear any of this.
So we're going to talk about the oche, but there isn't one. And this feels like 1972, because somebody's put a bit of tape down on the floor. I measured it and it was wrong. I love to kick up against an oche, there isn't one. There's no raised section. It's literally a piece of tape that hasn't even been replaced. A 0 has to be, there's nothing there. But this is a 1. 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. That must have took some putting together. Is it in the way? I don't think it's in the way.
The light's not kind of even angled towards what it's lighting up here.
Ah, okay.
It's lighting up in front of the board. If this was angled
we'll
a little
have to do
bit
the
more.
shadow test then, eh?
I mean, there is no shadow, that's fine.
There's something. Can you see what I'm talking about?
No.
You've got to go and get...
Let me stand where you are.
Or something, or what? That line, right, we take it out.
Right.
Right, and we put it in. You can see...
Oh, that is...
Oh, hello. It's lighting the board. It's a light. It's not in the way.
Can I add an added factor here?
Yeah.
Look at the strip lighting that's in the side here as well.
He's on Ambiance again.
Nice ambience in here. The ambience, that has added light, it brightens it up, gives it a different feel and a vibe, lights up the backdrop as well. I like it.
You don't like it. It's a million pieces. It doesn't like it up very well. We've got shadows going on in weird places we never thought before. The ambience isn't doing it for me.
The ambience.
Well, where's the positives there?
Oh, I was thinking 7.
Okay. 5.
Sometimes when you're at a venue, you just start to vibe things. And I tell you what, Harsh Andy, I can tell, is starting to vibe this place. A good old traditional boozer here in the UK, but still keeping its darts traditions and its darting roots. Now, I've got a feeling this is even going to melt the heart of Harsh Andy. Nice wallet.
Yeah.
Spares. Got some lights in there. Some of these have been very well used, like the ones that are in here. But when we take a look at the actual darts themselves, tungsten. Now, we know from this series, from travelling around the UK, this is becoming rare now, but how much of this is now because the price of darts is going up? When we think about, when you play pool, a lot of time you have to leave a £5 deposit to get a cue.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you think of a tungsten set of darts, you'd say the baseline's probably around about £50 these days.
They look like you could have a game with them.
There's nothing wrong with them, it's just pure personal preference. The only thing I'd say, we've been given 1 set, and there's 2 others. 8.
I'm gobsmacked. You've just said there's only 1 set. We can't even have a game. We've got to pass the darts around. It's a decent dart, I'm not disputing that. We've got matching flights and stems, I'm not disputing that. But it's 1 set. You've been on them protein shakes again, haven't you? It's making you like Mr. Positive.
7?
So you've even set the alarm off now with that ridiculous comment. 6 is as far as you can go on that.
So it's a bit knobbly, it's a bit bobbly, it's not smooth, which is going to make it a little bit harder to wipe. You're going to get colour start to stick in the board, which you can start to see happen here. So you're going to need to give it a proper cleaning at the end of every single session. So it's there, it's functional, but a little bit of a problem there. No problem here. We've got a scoring system, bang the scores and works it out for you. You've got an average button on here as well, which I'm sure gets bashed almost every single night when people are played. Certainly when you played well, you'll be bashing that one. So Andy won't be pressing that too much. So 2 choices, electric socket down there as well. So maybe if you was to play Super League here, or you was going to have a tablet or a computer system,
hang on a minute, Matt. Want to play on this board? You've got a chalkboard and an electronic. So you can either go chalkboard, electronic, or you can go whiteboard, electronic. All the options covered, apart from the crazy ones that we talk about with the tablets and screens and stuff like that. But I've even started marking us up. If I just do that, it's about right, isn't it? Scoreboards, 8 out of 10, Matt. What do you think?
I'll take it.
You know, I walked in here and I had 3 darts and I thought, I like the throw, but they all went high. So I was kind of like, oh, that's weird. Why are they going high? But yeah, I really like the throw. Have you lost your voice?
I was just listening. I was listening. I thought,
mate.
I wonder where you're going with this, because I was waiting for you to brutalise it because there was maybe a slight draft or
air pressure and things like that.
For me, I've never been a fan of light rings. And this one is very, very tight. And it's tight to the board.
Yeah.
So it does make the board feel a little bit tunnelled in the fact that...
A bit what?
Tunnelled, a bit deeper.
Oh, tunnelled.
A bit deeper, rather than it sort of...
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be my
Well,
only...
bearing in mind the measurements were so off, you would think one of us would be saying something, would be hating it. Does it feel right?
Yeah.
Okay? My dart's going a little bit high, but I just something about it I
You
like.
being a bad player shouldn't affect the score, though.
I'm at 8 or 9.
Oh, I was 7. So 8's probably fine. It's very open plan. You can't come more this way. 1, the pool table's here. 2, the corner, so you can't see around it. The door to the beer garden.
Yeah.
People going to be going out there smoking. It's
Got to
be
be walking up and down it. You imagine that. I'm stood here throwing a dart, by the way, and you've got to walk there to get in and out.
Yeah.
I know they
Table
have
in.
another board, don't they, near the bar, and maybe we might be being a bit harsh because maybe they use that one for
Do you want
matches.
to play darts next to the bar?
You don't want to do that either, really. It's always going to be a tough one in a pub because they're not big. Sometimes we go to venues and they're enormous and they can dedicate a space. It is always harder in a pub to find that perfect area. Normally, though, there's a bit of seating behind.
There'll be teams that go, oh, I don't want to go down the White Swan. It's always a bit in the corner. It's always a bit hustle and bustly.
Yeah.
Where if you play here and you like that environment, it's for you. I think this is very Marmite.
It is, and it's not for me, to be honest, because I'd like, if you're playing and my team's playing, I want to be sat behind cheering them on.
I've got a feeling you've got 4.
Well, you were close. I've got a pint of the local Birra Moretti, which is always a good one. Now, plenty of snacks and things, but they don't do food. However, they've thought about the customers here. Got some made-up barm cakes behind the back. Now, I'm probably sure in this part of the world, and please get in the comments below, they don't call them barm cakes, but I do. So there's some filled barm cakes behind the bar. Beer's nice and cold, that's good. Let's go and see if we can find Matt.
I'm reading the posters and some of the offers. I mean, 3 for $5 on the VKs, that's for me. I like my fruity bits.
Oh, you
but
do?
I found something for you, somewhere you spend a lot of your time in the toilet.
Here, hold on to that. I know you won't drink it because it's not girly, fruity, whatever enough for you, is it? Is this a gents? Yeah, here we go. I'm back because it's not that big. However, for a boozer, that's a decent toilet. Take it before you drink it. I've seen you before. So, car park at the back, but it's full, even right now. So, on-street parking an hour. That's okay if you just want to pop in a quick best of 3 or something like that. Other than that, it's paid parking.
I don't think it's somewhere you drive specifically to unless you've got a match.
No. For once, I'm lost for words. I don't know where to start. Look, bar, I'm happy with the bar. They've even got barm cakes behind the bar, cheese barms, ham barms.
Do you know what? 8? No,
What?
car park 7.
Oh, see, I was going to agree with you on 8.
Really?
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned boozer, but with a modern twist, Matt. And barm cakes. Who doesn't love a barm cake? Got to sum up the White Swan at Oldbury. What are you thinking?
Hit and miss. We've been to some venues that are great. We've been to some where it's just not scored well. This has categories where it excels, and it has categories where it struggles. Now, again, some of this may be down to our grading system.
Even for me, it feels like we've probably been a bit hard on it. But because I can imagine why people have gone, this is a great place. You know, you guys, you need to come here. We've got 4 dart boards. You know, it's a lovely pub.
Town centre location.
Nice. Yeah, town centre. So I get why people have gone, come here.
If I was up in town doing a bit of shopping or I was out with my mates, perfect. It's not a league venue.
I love it when we go in an old school boozer. And I love it as an old school boozer. I could come in and quite happily have a few pints, but I'd probably have a game of pool.
I thought when we first got to this venue it was not going to score as well as it had. It was a sort of town centre location, parking wasn't great, but it's really done well in a couple of categories. For me, this is a real home-board advantage sort of place. I think if you like this sort of environment, you'll play well. The home team probably do well here, but for me, this would be one of those away venues I don't quite look forward to.